ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages. This is the spot. Woohoo! We're out here. This is one of your hosts, Easy Yon.
And Mighty Young, and Mighty Young, and Mighty Young.
Gang, we're out here, and of course, Racing Kanan 402, not episode 402, but season 4, episode 2. And yeah, we back. We back, and power as usual, the hot opener of season 4, this is the standard. Episode 1's gonna be hard. Then 2 is like, alright, it's kinda cool, but let's mellow. So we already know 3 and 4 is gonna but as power usually does, it picks up in the second half. So
yeah,
I never doubt.
Yeah, no, you're not lying, man. Especially, these first 2 episodes. The last episode, we got the return, of how Unique was able to get back on his feet. So, if you want, we could just say it was pretty much like a perspective episode of the end of season 3, we could say. So, we can say this was the real premiere, right?
That's what I actually talked about with someone else about this too. Yeah, no, it's definitely more like this episode 2 was more of like the actual premiere because it's new content per se. And not to say that the episode before, like you said, it was not new content. It's just from a different lens, like different perspective, you know what I mean? And that's all it was. So some people don't like that, but some shows really do that though, you know what I mean? Like after a hot finale, something big just happened. The creators, the writers, they know the fans want to see something immediately new happen right after the follow-up. But they're like, no, hold on. Let's ease them into it. Let's give them something to look at to understand the background stuff. And the background stuff that we saw, by the way, was important. Like with Stefanos and Marvin, their business on the side.
Stefano and Marvin, it's crazy how their business relationship is grown over this last season. And it's just like, man, sometimes, you put yourself in a pie hole, it's hard to get out of it.
No, for real. But at the same time, the background stuff kind of just helped put more perspective on how people were acting, feeling, and what they're analyzing, and just background talk. But 2 things I want to throw out. One, Joey Badass is doing great. Great actor.
Yeah.
The way he's portraying Unique is solid.
His character literally became a fan favorite overnight, if you ask me. Because Unique wasn't always a fan favorite, in my opinion, until we got used to his character, and then we got to see after a full season of watching Unique, from early Raising Kanan to how he is now. It's probably some of the best developments we've seen, in Power.
No, yeah. When it comes down to it, in Raising Kanan, I mean, this show is just raw. It's gritty. It's down to the point, and every episode just means something. So, I mean, and another thing with Unique, not Unique, but the second thing I wanted to follow up with, where the fuck is Freddy? That's where everyone's wondering. He's dead.
You mean Famous?
Freddy. Why am I saying Freddy? Famous. Yes, Famous. Yeah. My bad. Yeah, we'd have botched that already. Oh, man. But yeah, no. Famous. I mean, what are we gonna do with him? What's happened to him?
It's crazy with Famous because his situation is interesting. Because I didn't think he was gonna be able to be let go from the police.
He was just caught up. That's oh my god, bro.
I thought he was gonna sit down. How were they able to let him go after episode 10?
Wait, I need a refresher. Did he get out of that episode?
I don't think so. I don't think I mean, from what we were watching, he was talking with his mom after they found the gun.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was, and then that was it. So my thing is this: I don't think Famous is clipped like many people are saying or suggesting, because they don't just clip someone like that off air or off screen, whatever you want to call it, like that. Maybe give a mention of it. But it's really difficult here because the only thing I could really think of who could have clipped, I was gonna say Freddy again, but Sean, right? Sean. It would be Marvin or Lou.
Yeah, actually,
one of those two would have clipped him.
I don't know if Lou would have done it because Lou and Famous, he saw.
That's true. Then too close with the music stuff. Yeah, they're way too good at that. Yeah.
But at first, Lou thought he was annoying. Remember?
Yeah, it took a while though.
Yeah.
But overall though, Marvin though.
Ooh, Marvin would do it under Rock say so for sure.
Do you think he's clipped by now?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think he's clipped right now. I'm just gonna say that right now, but we could be wrong. But in my opinion, I hope he turns back up. But it's hard to say right now. Hopefully they didn't write him off, and then they're just like off-screen killed him type of shit. I hope we don't get that.
Man, hot take. Kanan and Juke are just asking, about, Famous over and over, and then finally Rock just says, "I had to get him clipped, okay? He was gonna snitch on us all." Like just some throwaway, off, you know what I mean? Just not give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Damn, no. If that were to happen,
That'd be cold.
yeah, Rock would have taken that to her status. I don't know how much of a savage I could turn her up to. I could put her like my meter with Rock. Like she's already surpassed the savage meter. I don't know if she can go up any higher.
And of all people, too, Famous, man. I think Famous is such a lovable character in some ways that like seeing him dead or get killed is gonna hurt a lot. But I feel like the writers would want that, right? They'd want that feeling.
Yeah, I feel like they want to give us tragedy. They want to give us something to dwell on, and then you know how writing is with shows. There's a climax. There's everything. It has all settings, all types of like scenarios. But yeah, they want us to feel the emotion. So I wouldn't be surprised if they gave us that. He's not disappearing. He could be kidnapped. He could be on his own. Who knows?
I was gonna say, what if Sean's just been locked up this whole time and he's still in power, like all the way up to current day?
Bro, that would have been so crazy.
Nah, but for real, like they never specified he's dead.
That's true. They didn't.
You know what I mean? He could have been the joint. Kanan with him at one point too. You know what I mean?
No, that's facts.
Maybe he saved Kanan from a prison fight. Saved him from a prison charge, so I was going to keep Kanan in there long enough. And then maybe Famous took a life sentence for Kanan.
Oh, that would be hard.
The body. You know what I mean? That would be something to name your son after. You know what I mean?
Especially like the way that's what I'm saying. So it could be one of two things. For Kanan to name his son after Sean, he had to have done something courageous for Kanan before something happened.
No, he had to save Kanan's life.
but you want to know why this could be the end of Sean?
Huh?
Because before he got arrested and all that, him and Kanan weren't on the best of terms.
Well, Ronnie, I always felt that Ronnie and
even before that too. Remember, like
okay, yeah. So like, I feel like they were chill at the finale of season 3, though. I mean, barely, because remember he just told them like, "Yo, Rock got shot up, blah blah blah, her car,
Yeah, that's the last conversation they had. Yep.
Yeah, in that sense, I feel like they were cool because he was willing to talk, but it was only because it was about Rock.
Exactly. But Kanan's gonna probably feel guilty if something does happen to Famous. He's gonna be like, man, I wasn't messing. We won. If I was, he's gonna be hella regretful.
No, it's gonna be something big. Let's just put it that way. But straight to the power. Well, we got a little side trail, but no, still on point. We're hoping the best for Famous out here on the spot. Hoping for you. But yeah, we're gonna break it down though real quick because a lot of interesting stuff happened, a lot of developments, I guess you could say. And just looking through the notes here. So we're gonna like Jukebox. I mean, straight to the point. She's in the army. Nothing beyond that. She's part with it too. She knows how to shoot, knows how to run, cardios, endurance. I think Kanan 50 Cent narrates it wisely, like real soldiers know how to take orders, like kind of deal. Like, street soldiers are one thing, but like they don't take orders like real ones. Like they have strategy. That's a real soldier, you know what I mean? And Jukebox, I mean, with her student experience tied with now government education and all that shit, like she's ready. She's fit. She's feeling, she's feeling the vibe now.
Not definitely, especially like with Juke, her like we've seen her dealing with a whole lot of shit when she was in the military. Like they were having her do a whole lot of like training exercises that looked very, very courageous. That looked like she was doing like real shit.
No, she knew what she was doing too. Because I mean, at the end of the day, like she just needed something to do with her life. She felt like she had no purpose, and this, fortunately for her, was a calling card.
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially the way how her family was moving, the way she was feeling about everything, about Nicole, like everything that happened to her the first 3 seasons. Like this was the moment for her to finally like break free, like to be on her own. So, her journey is going to be very interesting. Her development is going to be really, really interesting this season to see where she takes her talents, to see what she chooses to do.
Well, I mean, that alone doesn't stop the fact that, just kind of dive straight into it. Power, I guess, is doing a good job of addressing the current times as well, with like the LGBTQ plus and all that stuff. It's like, obviously in the army, that stuff is also, there's an issue there. We're not really we're on the spot here, we don't get into politics like that, so we're not gonna do that. But essentially, Jukebox witnesses, what was it? Was it a dude, right? He had the guy magazines or something like that.
Yep.
And then he gets kicked out, and then Jukebox is like, "What's going on?" And her friend cadet, or whatever, is just like, it's just the army doesn't accept gays, anything like that. If you're not straight, hetero, whatever it is, and then they just kick you out. I think he was getting kicked out, right? Is that what it was?
Yep. They were letting him go because they said, "Oh, he had guy magazines," just like you said. That's the reason why they let him go. So they looked down on that, and at the time, it was still the '90s. So
yeah, exactly. So it was still a thing of it. And Jukebox was like, really? That little shit's pissing you guys off? Like, she's keeping it to herself, but she's just like, now that fuel, we see more glimpses of her, like Unique, we're seeing like different versions of them every episode, like a more, we're the step towards who they are in present day as we know Jukebox per se.
That's facts. Literally. Like, it's just like her, it's like we're watching her grow up.
No, really, the actors, genuinely, it's like with Tariq, we watched him grow up in front of us for damn near a decade. You know what I mean? Like,
he grew up on that show.
Like, that man, that kid just, kid, whatever you want to say, just grew up, so there's that. And then there's the police press conference. They addressed finally what we wanted, kinda. They addressed the Malcolm Howard, right?
Malcolm Howard.
Okay, why am I about to say a different name? Oh my god, I was worried. I was like, is that not it? Malik Howard? No. Malcolm Howard, he's cooked. He's done. They're thinking that he was connected with Ronnie in terms of the drugs. And pretty much that's that. It's like, there ain't nothing else to deal with about this. Move it on. Adios. Benito.
Bro, that was what I'm saying. That was smart for Rock to, like, because Marvin was gonna take the fall if she didn't do that, if she didn't take that action.
Ah, but that's family. That's how she does it. Gotta take care of the whole fam, and that's how you do it.
Yeah, and then the way that she took out Howard was in a way where Howard took the fall for him and Ronnie pretty much running the whole narcotics operation and Baisley and all that. He pretty much got blamed for what Marvin was doing, which is crazy.
Yeah, no, it works though.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I didn't think about that. I did last year, the episode. I wouldn't have thought about that and been like, oh, she's just trying to frame Malcolm, have him set up there with Ronnie.
Yeah, no, like it's crazy how she was able to like put all that like at rest within the few seconds of just. She had the perfect opportunity. Like, she didn't expect Kanan to take out Ronnie, and when he did, she said, "Okay, yep, I'm gonna make my play." And then she's seen Ronnie's body right there, and then she sees Malcolm right there. You know, you put two and two together. She kills Howard, leaves him there next to Ronnie. I mean, and he was being investigated already, so that makes it even better for them.
Yeah, wait, who they say killed Malcolm though?
They're still figuring it out. They're thinking
Okay,
the same person that shot him earlier, which we know was Kanan. They're thinking is the same person that killed him.
It's still funny how Kanan shot him and didn't kill him. Was that the finale? Was that the finale?
That was 109.
109. Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, because remember the finale of season 1 when I believe Howard wakes up in the end of the episode.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. Yeah, that's what the thing was for me. I remember something big happened. That's what it was.
Yeah, I remember Howard woke up. I said, "Oh shit."
But we kind of get a glimpse back to Unique, who, you know, he's in a remembrance stage, trying to remember what the good times were. You know, before Ronnie came and fucked it all up. And he goes back to his old crib where his girl and his kid were at, and it's just vacant. Oof. Sorry, I'm sick over here. But he just gets pissed off. He just sees all these toys and shit all over the place. He couldn't be here. Couldn't be here for them.
I felt hella bad for Unique because, you know, his son Jerome was all he had, bro. That was all he had, especially after he was arrested at the end of season 1 after Rock framed him for shooting Howard. Like, when he went away and stuff, that was literally like his prized possession.
You couldn't really, yeah. And imagine you're Unique. You know, you're trying to make a comeback now, but at the same time, as you're trying to go for your enemies, you gotta rekindle with your family.
Yeah, that's facts. You know, just gotta see them, let them know you're okay. You know, it was kind of sad that we didn't get to see him reunite with his family. You know, hopefully we get to see it like down the line.
And we see a little bit of marketing from Kanan, he's you know, bought out his Coke thing or whatever. What are they doing? Coke or heroin? I forgot.
Who?
Kanan.
Oh yeah, it's the white girl.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was gonna say basically, he's just talking about giving hourly wages to his workers and stuff. I'm dead. I'm just like, yo. He's like, we can start them off on an hourly. I'm like, who are you sitting down with a notepad and a pencil talking about get him on an hourly like you're some general manager? Like, bro, I don't know. Just that idea of just seeing Kanan just counting money, sitting at a desk, and you know what I mean? It just felt funny.
It did. He's trying to come up with that business regimen idea.
No, I mean, hey, yo, that's how Kanan was, I guess. You know what I mean? I've seen the development of Kanan, but it's just unfortunate. I mean, power spoiler alert, how he gets clipped, and like, we already know how he dies, so we're just seeing his life. Literally. And hopefully it goes up to a good point where, do you think 50 Cent will play the person in Origins that gets locked up?
Maybe. But I feel like they're gonna have Mekhi Curtis play him.
I can see it with a beard, maybe. You gotta give him something, maybe. They probably have Kanan clean shaven.
They're gonna have him clean shaved. I feel like in Origins they're gonna have Mekhi Curtis clean shaved a little bit.
That's good. Well, that scene's gonna go nuts, bro. Well, that trailer, bro. That trailer's gonna drop, and we're gonna be like, oh shit! Hey yo! It's that episode. It's coming up.
No, that's what I'm like.
You're gonna hear the trailer. You know, goes to say, Tasha, we need to do something about Kanan. Tasha's like, I got a plan, and then this says power next week. It's like,
that would be hella funny. New Origins season 4. That would be hella funny.
Oh my god.
I can picture it. We're getting close to that though.
Like, don't do anything, Ghost. I have a plan. This is Tasha. It's like, I know it.
it's gonna be like a young Ghost and Tasha. That would be hella funny.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Oh, look at us over here talking about the trailer for like the episode of Kanan gets arrested.
That's what I'm saying.
But now basically we're gonna focus on Lou's now. Lou, he's just getting out of the rehab. Marvin picks him up. You know, Lou's gotta plan the next step in his life now. What do you do if you're Lou? You know?
Yeah, I know Lou is gonna try to keep his head down, you know, try to stay in the music. But at first, like you said, he didn't want to do that. He just wanted to work on rebuilding. Like, he wanted to get back to where he was in terms of like with rock. I mean, I don't know about with rock, but like he just wanted to be back to who he was.
Sorry, I just had to shut off some lights there. Yeah, no, when it comes down to it, Lou just, I mean, he stayed sober, but it's good to see him back in the bar. It just feels like he belongs there.
That's true.
In a nice way.
You know, it's good to see him, but he just needs to keep himself busy, bro. He just needs to keep himself busy and just not dwell on things, you know? Because he gets depressed sometimes, like in the show. Like, I feel like sometimes that be fucking him up.
You gotta get out of that mindset. That's what it is.
Yeah, you know?
It's difficult sometimes. But, no, basically, kind of straight to the point, though, he meets this one white dude. Where did he meet him at? I can't remember.
I think he met him. Are you talking about the one that he met at the studio? I mean, at the one that he met at the. You talking about the one that the manager, like the dude, the hip hop division?
Yeah, I think it's like Low Street Records or something.
Low Street Records.
Yeah, he meets with them, and then the dude's like, I forgot the rapper's name, but he's like, yeah, I'm trying to get this one dude to sign, and you know, we gotta figure something out. He tells Marvin, you know, not Marvin. He tells Lou, right? Huh?
His name is B-Rilla, right?
I think so. B-Rilla, yeah. But the old white dude, the executive, he tells Lou just like, yo, you just gotta chill though, cause like, you know, we've all done some fucked up shit in our lives. So you know, I guess that gives Lou more perspective to be a little okay with who he is. You know, everyone makes mistakes, so I feel like Lou needed to hear that too. I guess from especially a person in a position of power.
Definitely, no facts, bro. Like that should make him feel a lot better, honestly.
And then B-Rilla, he goes to the prison. It was a prison, and he goes to meet him. And he's just like, yo, what's up? And you know, you get your case heard, yada yada yada. You gotta do some rapping though, and get you paid. I'm like, damn, imagine some Tupac shit. Turns into a gangster.
Wow, bro. Just imagine just him becoming the biggest rapper in power.
Oof. Honestly, that he becomes the main character, that's gonna be wild.
and think about it, this could be a hint to what happens to Famous. Now all of a sudden we get a new rapper.
Ooh, Famous just gets replaced.
That's what I'm saying. That's probably what this is.
So you're saying Lou got rid of Famous?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. I'm saying just from like from the way we're watching it and how I feel like it's looking right now. It's looking to me that they have a new music interest now. Because you know how sometimes in shows, like for example, Power Book 2 Ghost. Remember when we lost Professor Milgram, and then we got the other girl teacher in season 3.
Right.
Like, it's gonna be something. I feel like it's something like that. Except we don't know what happened to Famous yet.
That's what I was gonna say. We have to know what happened to Famous at least, right?
Yeah. But I don't know.
What happens if he goes unanswered for 4 and 5?
Yeah, then I don't even want. I'm gonna give up. I will give up. I'm not waiting to hear about this man in Origins.
But then get this, he's not mentioned in Origins.
Yeah, then I guess that's why he called him Sean, I guess, because Sean was never found. We don't know if he's dead or not. Is that why he calls
Oh,
him Sean? Because he
oh,
just
man.
never comes back.
No, yo, that's terrible.
No, I'm gonna be pissed off, you know, Thon, if we never see him ever again, we don't even hear about him ever again. And then Kanan was like, damn, you know, I had a friend named Sean, but I never seen him ever again. Call him Sean. Like it's gonna be some dumb shit.
No, I feel that. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, Famous he's out in the wind right now, honestly.
Yeah.
But no, moving forward, honestly, with that, I mean, Lou, I mean, he's doing his thing. He gets the dude to sign, making money. All is good. Lou's running the club and the bar, so at the end of the day, you know, nothing problem there. But then we step to Marvin. Marvin, who's still following up with Stefano, doing random tasks. It's like random GTA missions, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. At this point, it's like, man, like, it's like at this point, like, what the hell, bro? Like, what the fuck? Like, they're just like it's like that's like his like he's on his payroll now. It feels like.
No, yeah, when it comes down to it, I think he even killed the bookie when he was supposed to intimidate him, right?
Yeah.
But it was because the dude reached for a piece, and he's like, "You the white boy's slave," you know what I mean? And Marvin, oh man, Marvin, bro, you fucked up.
Yeah, man, this is like, whoa, it's like, damn, Marvin. These implications, they're gonna haunt the whole family later. We know this.
No, he clipped the mobster's bookie, though. Isn't he? Not mobster specifically, but he handles bookings for mobsters.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah.
It's crazy how, like, the bookie just, man, it's crazy because I didn't think a bookie was important too, but I guess when they find out he's dead, somebody got to pay.
And, you know, booking, I mean, at the end of the day, at the time, you gotta think about it. There had to be a middleman who would take all the risk. You know what I mean? So that's the bookie who puts in the bets and all this stuff. But the thing is, that's just the problem, though. You don't kill I don't know, a mob associated booker or bookie. You definitely put a target on your back. So that's definitely, you know, like you said, it's gonna come back to bite him in the ass, big time.
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially with the mob, those are long time implications. I mean, those are like long. Those implications can go. They're gonna go a long way. those type of things just don't. They're never gonna go away. No matter how long you're in debt with them, no matter what you've done to them, they're not gonna forget about that shit.
No, they'll know it. I mean, here's the thing. The way I see this is, you can't have a season of Raising Kanan without Marvin. So I don't think he's gonna go away this season. I think we got time.
Yeah, I don't know though. I feel like we're gonna get a major death this season between the family.
No, for real. Well, imagine the writers of the show execs to say it'll be Rock, Lou, or Marvin. Can you guess?
I think it will. I think it'll be one of them three. If you ask me, I feel like it's gonna be Marvin. But I don't know. I want to be wrong. Hopefully, I'm wrong. But if I were to choose, I don't know. I feel like Marvin's gonna go before. I feel like he's gonna be the first to go, just because he's the favorite. Like he's literally the favorite of the family.
Well, why can't power characters be happy?
Cause they can't. The creator already said that. So they just can't. It's never gonna be happy. It's gonna be bad before it gets good, but it'll never be good. Especially when it comes to like, and you look at Marvin's situation, bro. It's not gonna get any better.
I guess. I mean, we'll have to see and find out. I mean, It's not unpredictable, hard to tell, but I guess yeah, you're right. Gonna have to give it a sec.
Yeah. It's gonna take time, but we're gonna see in the end of it all. We're gonna see how his story ends.
Then basically Rock's lawyer with the feds and stuff like that, like it's well, we'll touch that back later actually, because it actually relates to the ending we're gonna talk about too. But at this point, basically it's kind of interesting for Rock and Kanan because they're now back together. So they go to, who was it, Snaps and Pops or something like that?
Yeah.
I was about to call them Bubs.
Yeah, Snap and Pops, they went over to their establishment, and then I believe they had a business proposition with Rock.
I think, was it Kanan?
Kanan or Rock, I forgot.
I think, no, something about Ronnie had an agreement with Kanan. And then Kanan looked to Rock and was like, come on, what is this bullshit? They're bullshitting me. She's like, I don't know, I wasn't here for your deal. You can't talk to me like that, you know what I mean? But then they start about to get ready for beef, and they're like, you know what I mean? You don't want this, son, yada yada yada. And the more I see him, I swear I just keep seeing Bunk Moreland. Snap. Is it Pops? Snaps, right? Is it Pops?
I think he's Pops, yeah.
Yeah. But fucking Bunk Moreland, one of Baltimore's greatest homicide detectives.
Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. Bunk is doing his thing, but the way Kanan responded to that situation, I feel like he's gonna definitely like show his. I think he's gonna show his. He's gonna flex later in the season. I feel like that's like a. I feel like that scene we seen with him snapping Pops was just a preview, because he's not gonna let them keep pushing him around. He's gonna do something about it when he does.
We go see Snaps and Pops with a strap. They actually pull up, start shooting.
That could happen, but I feel like Kanan's gonna be ready. Kanan is gonna figure something out. Cause you saw how disrespected he felt. You know Kanan doesn't like being disrespected.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, Kanan. Here's the thing: he thinks he's hot shit. When low key, these are veterans in the game, though. You know what I mean? They've been in the game for a minute.
Yeah, but the way he did Ronnie, we know he's capable of. Cause he wants it all for himself. Even though he's hella young, I don't know. I feel like he's gonna get the last laugh from Snap and Pops.
But no, I mean, Snaps and Pops make some good points to him, though. Like Kanan's volatile when it comes to friends and family. I mean, killing Ronnie, beef with his mom. It's all over the place.
That's true. Yeah.
Kanan doesn't like being told something that's true sometimes, because no one does. It's the truth. He couldn't do anything about it too, because Snaps and Pops are big people.
Yep, big influencers.
Well, drug influencers. Huh?
Yes, sir.
But this part kind of ties in a little bit. So basically, the FBI, Rock's lawyer is lit, by the way. He's Terry Silver's dad from Power Book 1, and basically he's telling Rock that he's the FBI shifted the target now away from Rock, but actually it's going to be now onto organized crime, which is Stefano. What's squeaking in the background?
Oh no, it's just some plastic.
Sounds some plastic. Okay. Sounds like you're opening your trap door to something. But huh? Are you still moving? Yeah. But
Repeat that?
yeah, no, so basically, you made me lose focus now. The Rock's lawyer, basically, who's Terry Silver's dad from Power, basically says that now.
Is that really his dad?
Is it not?
His name is Andre Barnes, I think, right?
I mean, maybe he abandoned his family. That's why he changed his name. I don't fucking know.
That's what I'm saying. No, I honestly thought that was his dad.
But let's going back to the thing. But basically, Stefano and organized crime are the main subjects of the target. And I believe the lawyer. I believe he actually even told Rox like, "Yo, so are you associated with Stefano in any way?" And I think she said no, but then he said something about like they know that she's associated with him in some capacity because there's a picture of her, Marvin, and Stefano at like I think the fish shop. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. I seen that. I was like, dang, bro. That's not good.
But basically, it kind of gives Rock the opportunity. They're like, yeah, no, the feds say that they'll work with you if you want to take down Stefano anytime. Basically being a snitch. And she says no, but I guess the offer's still out there. And this man's like credentials to like get information from the FBI is legit. Like legitimate. You know what I mean? Like he has insider information before it goes against Rock in any way.
He has a lot of pull, bro. I don't know how.
And that's what sucks. All the information dies with him.
It's crazy. That sucks, bro.
But then, once their meeting, and this is like kind of near the end too. Once the meeting with Rock and Andre are done, they're done meeting up. Andre goes back home. Unique witnesses from distance when Rock and Andre were hugging each other, and Unique is the jealous lover. Follows Andre to his apartment, hits him with the gun, and then it's just like, you fucking Rock, but you don't know that she's what? She's fucking you, or something like that.
Yep, that's exactly.
And then he just clips him.
He did him bad.
I remember months ago, the snapshot of Andre going into his apartment or some shit like that, looking behind him, was supposed to be Breeze. And was like, yo, this is Breeze!
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, what the hell, bro? Like, too many of these Breeze, like, they gassed it up now. Like, now everybody thinks everybody's Breeze, huh?
Wait, what about Brilla?
I don't think he's Breeze, bro.
Why?
He just doesn't. His introduction is just a rapper. Because we would have known Breeze was good at music. I feel like that would have been his backstory from Kanan and like Tommy.
Did Breeze teach Kanan the game?
He was their boss. He was Kanan's boss. But they developed they developed a relationship before Kanan met Ghost and Tommy.
So Breeze didn't teach Kanan the game.
He was just his boss. But they were tight.
Did they ever? Okay, I'm trying to think of a memory where like this kid ever said, "Remember that time me, you, and Breeze?" That thing.
They were tight, but Breeze he showed Kanan some things. Like he introduced him to some things, of course. He probably could put Kanan in a higher position of power.
Hey, what if Ronnie comes back to life, and then like Kanan learns from him, and that's Breeze.
That would be crazy.
Bringing himself back to life. So if Kanan survived that fire, he's bringing himself back to life.
That'll be crazy.
Said fuck it.
That'll be wild, bro.
No, some power. Super. Like it's just gonna call. They're gonna call it superpower.
You're stupid. What's wrong with you? Nah, that's hella funny. I'm not gonna lie, that's good.
No, okay, if they call it superpower raising Kanan, and like Kanan starts getting superpowers, like how are you gonna feel about the show suddenly? Like season 5's got a twist, folks.
Oh my goodness, bro! The show would just, man.
The audience would go away. I think it'd be over.
That would be something I've never seen before.
A complete 180 shift into like some superpower fan fiction.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. That's crazy. No, that would have been like, wow, some Smallville shit.
Oh, that was a good show too. Um, but yo, essentially, I mean, with the minor details here and there being left out, that was pretty much it. I mean, when it comes down to it, just this was like the kicker for the season in a way. Like this is what's gonna potentially kick off a lot of events. We already know the
Yeah,
Stefano Marvin thing is gonna go far, especially with that bookie being killed. That's gonna definitely backtrack to Marvin real soon.
yeah. And then we see what's going on with the lawyer getting his ass killed, which means that Rock's gonna know Unique is back. She's gonna try to come up with a plan.
Nah, she's gonna freak out. She's gonna be like, "What the fuck? Like, who could have done this?" And then,
Oh no, no, I feel like they gonna figure it out next episode.
I just like that. I like the little. She's, you know what I mean. I can see you, but you can't see me. Game. You know what I mean? That's the game they're playing.
Yeah, he's on his ghost shit.
But streets need a body. But at the same time, come home, Sean.
Yes sir, yes sir. Free. Man, hopefully Sean pops up soon, man.
You said free. You were about to say free Sean, like if he's locked up.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot he was missing.
Nah, see, so here's the thing. If he's locked up, what, like, because they'd be on the gun, right? On the murder, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but yeah. But he
Weren't
could
they
say,
trying to,
like,
weren't they trying to get someone? Oh, wait. So they're trying to find out who Malcolm's killer was, right?
yeah.
What if Famous? Okay. What if Famous puts it? Okay, because I'm trying to think. Because they asked, remember they asked him about Malcolm Howard, like, what's your relationship to him? Why'd he let you go? That kind of stuff. What if he says some crazy shit? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think right now. Just something along the lines of like, yeah, that one crazy dude, Roddy, he shot him or some shit like that. Well, actually, no. How would we know that? No, never mind. Ignore that. We're gonna kill the recording so we can remind ourselves how stupid that was. But no, I think Famous is gonna be in a position where he can snitch, but I don't know on who.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they don't really know his and Kanan's connection. Like, they don't know Kanan. I guess they could suspect him and Kanan and be like, we want you to rat on your homeboy or something like that, but...
Yeah, that could have happened, possibly. That was a crazy episode, though. You know, more to come. More to come from that story.
I'm just chewing on a cookie and I just don't want it to be too loud as hell.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good, brother.
Whew. No, white chocolate macadamia. But yeah, no, overall, great episode, great kicker. I genuinely just can't wait for episode 5, 9, and 10. Those are usually the lit ones.
In episode 8.
Oh, can't forget 10. Yeah,
Oh.
well, actually, I just said that, but 5, 9, and 10.
Yeah, 8, 9, and 10. Usually, like the last 3 episodes. Yeah, and episode 5. 5, 8, 9, and 10.
8 is kind of mid nowadays. Like, it's all about 5, 9, and 10.
Yeah, they do the mid-season. They always make it crazy. And then 9 and 10. I don't know. I feel like, 9 and 10 lately. Because Monet died in episode 9 for Power. Like, season 4. And then episode 8. And Raising Kanan last year. Remember when Rock killed, what's her name? Juliana?
Juliana, yeah.
Yeah, that was episode 8. And then remember back in the OG Power, Tasha killed Keisha, episode 8. A lot of shit. I mean, it's usually like the last 2-3 episodes, yeah. Typically like 9, 10, yeah. We'll usually see something crazy.
It's always just gonna be 1, 5, 9, and 10 for some people.
Yep.
This is the only episode some people just want to watch. Like, fuck it. They'll legit skip 4 or 5 weeks and just wait for 5 episodes to be out.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, fucks with it though. But overall, though, that was a great episode, great wrap up. You have anything else to add?
Nah, I'm just really excited for what they got coming moving forward with the rest of this season, and then with Force, which is gonna probably come out after BMF later this year, and then we're gonna finish up Raising Kanan, and then the new spinoffs. So more content for us, you know.
Trailer. Yeah, that BMF trailer, man. We're gonna dissect that in another episode or something like that. We'll break it down, but it looks like a fucking Call of Duty trailer now.
I'm not gonna lie, that trailer was hard.
It was lit. It was live. Don't get me wrong. It just
That shit was hard.
it just didn't feel like it.
No, that's facts.
Anywho, I'll be hitting you all up later. Y'all take care and have a great night. Peace.
Peace.